Today, I'm joined by the director of an unforgettable, emotionally heartbreaking film called The Coffee Table. Let's welcome Caye Casa and helping with translation, Adrián Des Champs. Adrian told me about this film. He was like, "You have to see this," when we had a conversation a while back. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then it took me a little bit. And then finally, I sat down and watched it. I was just in shock. Couple going through difficult times in their relationship, nevertheless, have just become parents. To shape their new life, they decide to buy a new coffee table, a decision that will change their existence. Um, where did this idea come from? Because I know you wrote it with someone else, Caye. So where did this come from? How did you start this story?
¿De dónde aparece la idea, no? Bueno, la idea es spoiler, si la dijera, la idea real, pero sí que con la guionista, con Cristina Borovia, queríamos hacer una película terrorífica, pero que no fuese de terror.
I can't say what happens because that would be a huge spoiler, but the idea with a co-writer was to make a terrorific movie, but without being a horror movie, but still being terrorific.
Porque yo, que soy un amante del cine de género, lo que me pasa es que hay muy pocas películas que me den miedo, porque veo que hay mucha copia de películas, de cosas que ya hemos visto y peor hechas. Entonces, lo que nos daba más miedo era lo que nos puede pasar en la vida o con un destino cruel.
Well, as a horror fan, I watch a lot of horror films, and the problem is they tend to repeat themselves, and in most cases, I don't get afraid. So I start thinking in ideas that would really terrify, but situations that could happen in real life, cruel ideas.
That is one thing that I really did enjoy. It's hard to say enjoy because the film was so like heartbreaking, but what I really did like, because it felt like it could happen and you miss a screw or you put something down and you're not paying attention and then you slip. I mean, you took the worst possible way of something that can happen. And even though it was an accident, it was so tragic. Like, I can't explain it. People have to see this. I do love the credits of how it opened, and you're seeing a manual, and it's like it feels like it's a blueprint of an accident waiting to happen if you miss one part of it. Was that like an idea for you? Because I felt that.
Forma también es una especie de blueprint de cómo ocurre este accidente que desata lo pavoroso de la historia. ¿Esa fue tu idea? ¿Así fue como planteaste la película, como una especie de la introducción, como un blueprint, una especie de esquema de cómo van a suceder las cosas?
Bueno, con la película queríamos engañar desde el principio, esa es la realidad. Ya desde el nombre, que es un nombre muy ridículo, la gente que va a ver una película que se llama The Coffee Table no espera pasarlo tan mal.
The idea was to trick the audience. I mean, if you see the title of the movie, The Coffee Table, it seems harmless, but well, it's not really that harmless. On the contrary.
Sí, o sea, empieza como una comedia de humor negro, que sí que tiene los títulos de crédito, que son pues el manual de instrucciones de la mesita del comedor, pero quien entra sin saber nada nunca se imagina de qué va realmente la mesita del comedor, y eso es lo que hace que les explote la cabeza cuando ven que la mesita del comedor va de lo que no podemos decir porque es de spoiler, pero que va de eso.
Well, the idea was to start like a dark comedy. But the good thing is, if you don't know anything about the film, you don't expect what's going to happen. I mean, and then you understand why it's called The Coffee Table.
There were some things I really did appreciate in this film was the dynamics between the relationship, especially the way you do the camera angles when you first watch it, you have her on one side, him on one side, and the salesman. And that right there tells you so much about their relationship and how the coffee table will change their lives. It's like a split of what's really going to happen, and then how the salesman is part of that in some kind of own scary way, especially the coffee table name, which I looked up, and I'm not going to say, you guys going to have to figure this out, but the coffee table name actually indicates what what is going to happen. You have to pay attention to what is happening, because not only visually, it's dialogue, it's subtle details, which I really do appreciate. Was that on purpose, how the name of the coffee table, or was that something it just happened to be that way?
Toda la escena del principio, cuando se ve la relación entre Jesús y María, es un poco un anticipo, además el papel del vendedor y sobre todo el nombre que tiene la mesita es una suerte de adelanto. ¿Eso fue a propósito o bueno, se dio porque sí?
No, sí, la idea de la secuencia inicial ya no solo sirve pues para darle la importancia que tiene a la mesita del comedor, cuyo nombre es Rorret, que al revés es terror. Esto si lo quieres.
Yes, of course, the idea of the first scene, it's built to generate this foreshadowing, and of course, the name of the table, who actually Caye said it's a game word in order to foreshadow the horrific situations going to take place. Of course, it was it was made on purpose.
Y también me sirve para hacer una descripción de los personajes, de los protagonistas, en qué momento están, la tensión que ellos tienen. Me sirve para presentar a un vendedor que es el personaje más extraño de toda la película, pero sobre todo me sirve como presentación de personajes.
Well, the first scene, it was made in order to present the character to the audience, their dynamic, and of course the salesman, who actually is the stranger character in the film.
Si ves la película por segunda vez, la gente que la ha visto 2 veces, entonces va viendo como esa primera secuencia todavía tiene más pistas de lo que pasará.
If you watch it for the second time, you will start to see all the clues that are in the first scene. That, of course, they're foreshadowing what's going to happen.
One thing that the salesman said: the table brings happiness. It will treat you well. I kind of understand that, because as you know, they bring it home, like things are happening. It's kind of, I'm trying not to, like, I don't want to say anything, but something didn't get treated well, and it didn't bring happiness. I mean, that movie, oh my God, it's like sorry. It just took me to another level of, this is why I appreciate horror movies from other countries, because it feels like they do not have the restrictions. They could just go. They're more creative in certain places when it comes to creep factor, terror, horrifying, thinking of the worst thing something can happen.
¿Entendiste lo que dijo?
Bueno, más o menos, dímelo rápido así.
No, que aprecia digamos, el terror de otros países porque justamente no tiene las restricciones que tienen en Estados Unidos, que nada, aprecia que puedas, que hagas ya, que el terror extranjero.
Eso se puede hacer porque hago cine independiente, si no en España tampoco lo podría hacer, pero es cine independiente low cost. Y entonces lo que yo tengo es libertad absoluta, y en eso es donde somos superiores a las grandes superproducciones, es lo único.
Le voy a contar, si querés, lo de que pasó con Matar a Dios. con el nombre que tuviste el problema. Well, the thing is, it's not only that it's a foreign film, it's an indie, very low-cost film, and that's the advantage, because even in Spain, you cannot do this kind of thing unless you are doing this way, indie and low-cost. That is the only way to have total freedom. I mean, that's the thing. And an anecdote that actually Caye told me that I told to you, the first film, Killing God, had a problem with distribution because of the name. Because, as you know, Spain is a very Catholic country, so the name Killing God was problematic, and they practically closed the possibility of showing on cinema. They don't even watch the film; they just saw the title, and well, it's over. So that's why this movie, The Coffee Table, has this like that innocent title to avoid this problem. But then you watch the film, and well, it's not so innocent.
Pero The Coffee Table existe solo porque es cine independiente. Pues si no sería imposible.
The Coffee Table only exists because it's indie filmmaking. Otherwise, it's impossible to do a film like this in Spain.
Well, what title would you actually do it in if it wasn't The Coffee Table?
Si tuvieras libertad y no te censurarían, como pasó con la película anterior, ¿qué título le darías a La Mesita del Comedor?
No, el título es el que quería desde el principio porque quería un título inocente para una película tan cruel.
No. I prefer this title because it's an innocent title for a very cruel film.
Oh. Okay. I get it. Very clever.
Thank you.
The visuals, the way you place the camera, and then I read that you did the storyboards. Is that correct?
Está asombrada de la forma en la que planteaste los planos, la cámara, sobre todo como haciendo un triángulo entre los personajes, los objetos, y te pregunta si vos hiciste los storyboards.
Sí, digo, yo hago todos los storyboards porque yo soy dibujante realmente, igual que el cartel también es dibujado por mí.
I'm an illustrator, so I do everything.
Oh.
Sí, so the poster of the film is my illustration.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
You know what? That explains of where you put the camera for the shots. And because as it flows so well, because you know exactly where you need the camera to show a particular moment in the script. And that's what I noticed.
Sí, he notado que se nota que eres un ilustrador porque cuando pones la cámara sabes muy bien cómo poner para representar y para mostrar lo que querés mostrar.
Sí, bueno, yo vengo del mundo del cómic, entonces rodamos la película en solo 10 días, cosa que es una locura, y por eso nos ceñimos al storyboard que yo tenía muy claro, porque cuando ruedas en 10 días o lo tienes muy claro o es una catástrofe.
Well, Caye said, yes, I come from the comic world, and we had only 10 days to shoot the film. So when you have 10 days, you have to be very strict about, respecting what the storyboard says. That's the only way to make a film in 10 days.
And I appreciate your work because it was really good. It was really good. I had
10 days, no money, it's problems.
Okay, did you shoot 24? Like how many hours per day of shooting?
11 hours per day.
Did anybody sleep? How could anybody sleep with all that going on?
¿Durmió alguien?
I mean,
ya duermes cuando mueres. No hace falta dormir.
You sleep when you die. There's no need to sleep during the shooting.
Oh my God! I just love you already. You sleep when you die. See, that should be the next horror movie. Something you sleep when you die. So this guy has to stay up the entire time. See, I have a horror movie idea. There was one thing that I noticed about this film. It really showed grief, fear, loss the whole time you're trying to figure out how is he going to like explain all this, and such a tragic thing happened. I mean, we've all been through something in our lives where we grieve something and we wish something never happened, and that was the whole thing. Like, you even felt like you wish this never happened for him. You felt every single thing, and it was such an innocent accident, but we're watching it get worse and worse and worse, and you're trying to figure out how is this going to play out, and it plays out in such an unexpected way. Was a lot of grief and loss, was that in a way of trying to understand any grief and loss in real life? Like, because it felt like the story was so realistic that it felt like if this happened, how would you explain something so tragic to someone you love, and how would you cope with that? Because it was like he was in shock the entire time.
Mm. No, bueno, le fascinó justamente preguntarse qué es lo que va a hacer el personaje a partir de esa situación, porque básicamente estaba en shock y él, digamos, uno se pregunta cómo se va a resolver, le encantó cómo se resolvió, y básicamente, al ser una situación que podría ocurrir, se pregunta si hay una conexión con algo real, ya sea que hayas pensado, que te haya ocurrido, que le haya ocurrido a alguien, o por lo menos si se trata de un análisis para evaluar cómo lidiar con el luto o la tragedia.
Mira, te daré dos respuestas. La primera es que una de las claves de la película y por qué funciona la tensión es que solo el protagonista y el espectador saben lo que ha pasado. Y eso hace que conecte muy bien porque el espectador sufre tanto o más que el personaje principal.
The first element I think it works for the film is that only the character, main character, and the audience know what's going on, and that create a bond, an empathy between the character and the audience.
Después, sin hacer spoiler, la vida pasan cosas crueles que no tienen solución. Y te explicaré una anécdota que me pasó en el TIFF de Rumanía, en un festival de Rumanía, en un cine donde había 1000 personas. Ahora te la explico, tradúcele eso.
No, well, and the second thing is, well, in real life, things, cruel things happened that they have no solution at all. And there's something that happened when I was in Romania in the TIFF festival that I'm going to tell you about.
Pues había un teatro de 1000 personas y presentamos la película, la vieron, estábamos en el Q&A y la última persona que habló en el Q&A fue una mujer rumana que no sabía qué película iba a ver, pero cuando la fue a ver se quedó en shock porque nos explicó que a ella le había pasado casi lo mismo que a los personajes. Casi lo mismo.
There was this woman in the theater that didn't know anything about the film, and when he watched the film, he was in shock because something similar almost happened to her.
Sí, entonces yo me quedé alucinado y ella me dijo que le había pasado casi lo mismo. Lo siguiente que dijo fue felicitarme por explicar una historia que no se suele explicar, porque ese tipo de crueldades no se suelen explicar. Y acabó la intervención, que fue muy larga, diciendo que se iba a casa más en paz con ella misma porque había sido como una catarsis.
No, he congratulates Caye after watching the film and congratulate him because the film for her was a way to explain in a way how, first of all, to show that these things could happen, and sometimes that happened. And the idea to show what could happen, how would be the reaction of the character, is a way to give some peace to that situation. And after saying that, she said, "Now I'm in peace after watching this film," because in a way, this film brings like a development that says, okay, this could happen, and there's no easy answer to this situation. It just happens. Shit happens.
Sí, sí, y es que realidad es que si tienes muy mala suerte en la vida hay cosas peor que la muerte y peor que los fantasmas, los zombies, los monstruos, y es el destino, lo cruel que puede llegar a ser con nosotros mismos.
There are things worse than death, and there are things that could happen to you that are actually worse than what happened in this film. And well, it's called destiny. And to talk about it is a way to cope with it, to accept it. This is life, destiny, and sometimes you had very bad luck.
That's deep.
Profundo.
I've always told people that a lot of these horror films or psychological thrillers, the writers, if it's just the director, that's a different story. But if it's a writer, director, or a writer, these stories have deeper meaning, and they come from the heart. They come from a place of either darkness, or it's like therapy. They let it out for an hour and 30 plus minutes. I mean, you're just drawn in, and you want to see how is this going to play out. And it was done very well. And I wish the best for this film everywhere.
No, bueno, nada, que le encantó, ¿no? La forma en la que se desarrolló, la forma en la que actúan los actores, y la verdad te felicito y te deseo lo mejor, le deseo lo mejor a este film, que la vea todo el mundo.
Sí, he de decir que la película, por ejemplo, yo con el tema de los actores para mí era vital, y entonces la película la rodamos en 10 días, pero estuvimos una semana ensayando en el piso con todos los actores.
For me, the actors was a key part of the film, and although we shoot the film in 10 days, we spent a week, rehearsing the scenes, and that was fundamental for the development of the film.
Well,
y piensa
no
una
wonder
cosa,
why
por
it seems
ejemplo,
so natural.
Claro, por eso se siente tan natural.
Bueno, claro, es que teníamos que ensayar mucho para poder rodar en 10 días y que ellos se metiesen en el personaje, porque eran muy duros para ellos. El personaje, por ejemplo, protagonista, el actor, lo pasó muy mal y enfermó durante el rodaje porque se metía mucho y era tan cruel todo, y él tenía que estar con tanta tensión que acabó enfermando.
Well, actually, it was necessary to rehearsal in order to shoot it in 10 days. So the actors could, get into character, and the main the actor had a very rough time during the shoot because, it was so connected to that situation and what happened to the character he played that he started feeling sick, and he ended up, sick. I don't know what happened to him. ¿Qué le pasó a David?
Bueno, realmente enfermamos todos como una especie de gripe que no era COVID, pero también nos pasó, rodábamos en un piso real donde vivía gente, el piso de encima se nos inundó y se nos empezó a caer agua, nos pasaron muchas cosas en esos 10 días que ayudaron al acting.
Well, besides the stress, of the shooting, and also the story, the cruelty of the story that affect all the actors that end up like having a flu in the end. There was also some production problems because in the building got flood. There was a flood in the building, so we have problems with that. But in the end, that problems end up helping to the actors to get to immerse in the characters. So that's.
Did they know beforehand how it was going to end up with the coffee table, or was it kept hush hush the day of the real shoot?
¿Cómo manejaste el tema de digamos, desarrollo del guión hasta el final con los actores? ¿Ellos ya sabían todo o les revelaste al final?
Lo sabían todo, incluso, por ejemplo, en algunos momentos estaban tan tristes que les tenía que recordar que en ese momento de la película todavía no sabían nada.
Well, they knew, and that's why in some scenes they were sad, and Caye had to tell them, no, we are the character still doesn't know, you know, but not the character, so stop being sad.
Por ejemplo, con la protagonista, con Estefanía de los Santos, que es María en la película, cuando le pasé por primera vez el guión, ella se lo leyó y al día siguiente me envió un mensaje de audio por WhatsApp que los primeros 30 segundos era insultándome, diciéndome hijo de puta, estás loco, cabrón, no estás bien de la cabeza, y después de esos 30 segundos dijeron, pero yo quiero protagonizar esta película.
Well, Stefania, the actress who played Maria, after reading the script, sent a voice message to Caye insulting him. But after 10 minutes of insulting him, he said, I want to be in this movie. Actually, that was my I had the same reaction after watching the film. I just sent the voice message to Caye and I insult him, and then I congratulate him.
Well, I won't insult. I'm just going to congratulate. Even though it was completely unexpected, the visuals, the dialogue, I mean, you just really have to pay attention to this film. And where is it at now? So is it showing still in film festivals? Because it showed that it was supposed to premiere in January in Mexico. So is it still out there? Has it made it? Is it going to make it here in the States so people can look out for it? And I could tell folks like where it's going to be at, because people need to see this film.
¿Dónde verla? ¿Cómo está la situación? Porque la gente tiene que ver esta película.
Bueno, esta película, su recorrido por festivales ha sido espectacular. Realmente la gente le cuesta entender que en una película donde no hay ni monstruos, ni fantasmas, ni zombies, ni sangre, ni se ve nada explícitamente, provoca tantas emociones. Eso, tradúcelo.
No, well, circuit, I mean, the movie is it has done very well in festivals, and people cannot understand how a horror film can be so disturbing without having jump scares, gore, etc.
Y eso, esas emociones tan fuertes que provoca, está haciendo que cueste mucho encontrar distribuidora, que en cualquier país cueste mucho estrenarla en cines. Ahora sí que es cierto que vamos a ir a México, están en pocos cines en España, se estrenará en Italia y seguramente en Estados Unidos ya saldrá directamente en Blu-ray.
Well, that's also the problem. It generates such a strong emotion that it's difficult to get a distribution company that accepts to distribute it. But well, we hope that in the end, in the States, will be releasing some platform.
Es muy curioso, pues a mí me parece injusto viendo la reacción del público, viendo cómo el público de terror reacciona de una manera tan contundente a una película como La Mesita, como los que mandan en las grandes plataformas no ven el potencial y hacen que la pueda ver millones de personas. Eso es una herida que yo tengo clavada.
Well, to me, seems unfair that all the audience that have seen the film, thinks it's an amazing film, and at the same time, the distribution company, the streaming services, they refuse to show it. For me, that's unfair. And in my opinion, is the problem with distribution companies and streaming services is they don't know shit about films and about the audience, and that's the reason why. So I'm trying to help Caye, and we should help Caye, so we have to pressure these assholes to show the film. My opinion.
That's so. I've seen horror films that was way worse. Like, what is happening? And it's just that is so crazy. There are some streaming companies that show some really disturbing films, and maybe they don't know about it. I'm not going to mention them right here. Maybe after we stop recording, maybe you already contacted them before, but there are some streaming companies that need to see this because I mean, this it's so disappointing. We got to figure something out. But
Mm,
anyway, but I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to see this film. Thank you for making it. Adrian, thank you for, letting me know about it.
mm,
We need fresh stuff. And this was, you can't get any fresher than what was happening in this
mm.
movie. So, but I wish you luck. I hope it gets out there. We need it. Thank you so much for your time. I really
Thank
do
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Help us, Ivotres, help us so we can release the film. I will do my best. I'm trying
I,
to.
I I will do my best. I wish I had my own little streaming service
Yeah.
because I would put out really good stuff because this film is really good, and I've had people ask me when I briefly mention it, like where I'm trying not to say what it is, but there's like when I was like it's the most heartbreaking, disturbing film I've ever seen. Or like, well, where is it? Where? So,
Yo
um,
solo quiero acabar diciendo que muchas gracias por hablar y por hacernos visibles, porque sí que es cierto que La Mesita del Comedor es una película que no se olvida, para bien o para mal, es de esas películas que no se olvidan y que creo que si llegase a mucho público, el boca a oreja crearía un fenómeno de Mesita del Comedor, porque es de esas películas que gusta decir, mírala, no sé si te la aconsejo o no, pero mírala.
Mm. Well, what I want to thank you for everything, and also to say that this is the kind of film you don't forget. And I think if people start watching it and is available somewhere, the mouth to mouth phenomenon will help to promote the film, because this is the kind of film you want to see because it's new, it's fresh. So I hope that happens.
all we could do is cross our fingers, cross our toes, and cross our eyes. But like I said, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe and find this film, The Coffee Table. So we get the buzz out, so you can want to see it, so we can put it in the streaming services, so we can get out there, because this is fresh and new and different, and believe me, it will stick with you. You will go to sleep wondering what the hell and wake up and be like, what the hell did it just gets you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.